Aristotle's sway over the development of Western rhetoric cannot be overstated. His Rhetoric mediates between the sophists' overconfidence and Plato's weariness by considering some sophist points, redefining them and using them to make rhetoric respectable. He thus grants that rhetoric is an art, techne, that can be taught and learned. More importantly, he sees it as a counterpart to dialectic, philosophical argumentation or logic, not its nemesis. Both are arts of communication that try to reason their way through difficult human problems with no final answers. Ergo, they are essential tools in situations where such difficulties arise, especially in ethical and civic life. Rhetoric and dialectic differ in subject, persuasion versus validity, application, matters of practical and public interest versus universal questions, and audience, non-expert versus expert. But their affinity is so strong that rhetoric too should be considered an argumentative art. Persuasion, Aristotle argues, is clearly a sort of demonstration, since we are most fully persuaded when we consider a thing to have been demonstrated. He calls rhetorical demonstration enthymeme, after the sophists, but takes it to work like the syllogism in logic, which is a deductive argument that draws a necessary conclusion from two propositions, premises, accepted as true. For example, all men are mortal. Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal. By contrast, an enthymeme leaves out a premise or even the conclusion if the speaker feels it is too evident or just plain dubious to state. Let's look to the following 5 enthymemes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
'Cause if it's Borden, it's gotta be good.
The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and you have burned so very, very brightly, Roy.
Because I'm worth it.
Enthymemes draw on commonly accepted notions. For example, traitors should be punished, not logical truths. This does not make them less efficacious. Aristotle's analogy explains how and why they work. Enthymemes are to rhetoric what syllogisms are to logic, technical means of reasoning from assumed premises to a conclusion. In brief, they are the very body of persuasive proof. A rhetorical situation has many limitations, social, cognitive, temporal, etc. It is never the ideal, nor are enthymemes fallacy-proof. In fact, appealing to an audience pity or fear, ad misericordiam, ad baculum, invoking an authority, ad verecundiam, or popular opinion, ad populum, attacking an opponent's character, ad hominem, while generally fallacies in logic, are admissible but highly regulated plays in rhetoric.